Don't make me mad, okay? Don't do that. She got attached, okay?
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA.
Okay, Coach, football, of course, back in L.A. and back. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Calling the gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On 3rd down, it's Turner. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
To throw on 2nd down, Weber. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Hurry up, here we go. 3
On 1st down, Turner. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. The starters on the defensive side of the ball for Miami, they find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Weber. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. They create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll run it here. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
All right, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Time to roll through the defensive starting lineup for the L.A. Chargers. Now, they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
They have tried all season long to fix all the things that they need to in the running game, and they have been successful so far. I'm wondering if this is a time to...
Pressure, he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Off the play fake. Weber. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And this is incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Weber. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Back to throw. Weber. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch. I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. So a nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They'll look to throw here on first down. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The numbers for Hunter Henry from a week ago. 5 catches, 67 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now let's go. Green 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the side.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the Dolphins are going to tie the score at 3. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment.
It's funny, we had our conference before the game without it.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Let's go!
They'll run on first down. Turner, and he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And out come the Dolphins now. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe the Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start hurts him there a bit, backs him up to 2nd and 9.
Let's go. 3-19.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw. Weaver. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and that'll bring up second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And it's complete. Henry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They're going to look to throw. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Back to throw. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 3-19. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. They'll throw now on the final play. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we have reached halftime here at a good one. 10-10 is our score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And over the middle, this is Parker. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good-headed scheme going.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now back to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, Weber. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get...
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. They're going deep for Hill. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. He's got the hook up to Miller. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Shaq Lawson in there to bury him for a loss of 11. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They go play action here on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do to the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And they'll run it here. Bulldozes past him. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off play action. Weber, he's going to float this one deep right side. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 22. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend? Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Larry Ogunjobi with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tack McKinley in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
He completes it to Henry. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. To the right side, complete to Miller. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Parker. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's going to be caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Anthony Miller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the fourth. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. On first down, Weber. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Off the play fake, Weber. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing on 3rd and long, Weber. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Call it a gain of 5. And it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to take it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Lucky. You know that's one that he would love to have back. That should have been picked off. Threw that one into a crowd. He's just so fortunate the defender couldn't react fast enough and get his hands up.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Throwing on first down, Weber. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. catching the ball and not much run.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Green 39! Green 39!
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing on 3rd and long. Walsh. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I'll guarantee you, he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Weber. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the gun, Weber. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Back to throw. Weber. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Now a handoff looking right. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Monte Nicholson picks it.